All right, good morning. This is my final video of the morning. This is continuing the largest project of my entire life, as I'm going to try to replay the entire 1970s decade. Again, this is game number 2 of week 1 of 1970, the year of my birth. Terry Bradshaw's rookie season. The NFL had merged with the AFL and had actually gone through 268 variations of league restructure as the owners could not agree on how to restructure the NFL. I think it was like 278 votes, 270 votes, 218 votes. I can't remember exactly, but if you've read the book America's Game, they detail this amazing battle between the owners and the commissioner trying to restructure the NFL as two leagues came together. So 70 was quite literally the birth of what would become, the monster that it is today. John, a while back, made a highlight sheet for passing and rushing touchdowns as well as interceptions, etc. So I'll be using that today to determine just some highlight information. It doesn't dictate any truth, just descriptions. So, again, I'm going to try to play as many games and seasons with Drive Time Football as I can for this project. However, I may have to use football time for some seasons that I don't have teams for, or I may use Flash Football or Field General Football by Clark and Addison when he creates. He's making decade sets for Field General Football. So for like Super Bowls and playoffs, I would love to play out the complete games in Field General Football. So much fun when I finish this season to be able to play Field General Football's 1970 Super Bowl or whatever in a full sim would be so cool. Either way, today, it's the Chicago Bears at Yankee Stadium to face the New York Giants. Fran Tarkenton, this was his stint in New York. Remember, he was with Minnesota, then New York, and then back to Minnesota. Fran Tarkenton here. And Chicago had Concannon as their quarterback. Ron Johnson was a very good running back for the New York Giants. Forgotten, unheralded back was Ron Johnson. Fantastic back. The Bears really had three backs. All of them, again, none of them had over 300 yards rushing. Ronnie Bull would probably be the most recognizable name to many casual fan. However, again, they did not yet have the great, the one and only Walter Payton. So I'll be using this to determine range and highlights when they score touchdowns. All right, and this, of course, is our offense-defense die, and this is our result. So first off, let's find out who's going to get the ball to start. The Chicago Bears on an odd roll will be selecting heads. They get it. And Chicago is going to take the ball. So that means New York's going to be kicking off. New York will get the ball second. So in the second half, right, it will be New York. I got to underline that so I don't forget. All right, here we go. Chicago Bears get the ball, and they do have a kick return. So let's roll and find out. Nope, they do not bring it back for a touchdown. They go to work. It's going to be offense 3, and they're going to punt the ball. So Chicago's first possession is a punt. New York has a punt return, so we got to check to see if they take that back to the house. They do not. And New York goes to work looking at the defense of this is not quite the Monsters of the Midway, but they were still okay. They gave up 261 points, so it's not the end of the world. 8 is a punt, so they're going to force New York in Yankee Stadium into a punt as Tarkenton can't get going. Chicago goes to work on their drive after the punt. It's going to be defense punt. So Chicago forced a punt by the New York Giant defense, which gave up 270. They were 9-5, by the way, the Fran Tarkenton. Oh, wait. And the punt return goes for a touchdown. So this actually is scored on Chicago's drive. So it's going to be New York punt return TD. I don't think this booklet has punt and kick returns in it. It has everything but, I think. Oh, it does. Well, it has fumble returns. I don't think it has punt and kick returns. They're pretty rare. Does it? Oh, that would be crazy. I can't believe... Yeah, I don't think John was thinking that way. I could use the scoop and score, but that won't make sense. So we're going to leave that alone. But either way, we get a touchdown. The Giants up. Let's kick that extra point. It's automatic. PAT. So the Giants, holy cow, do the Chicago Bears get their extra drive? They get all their drives. So yes, Chicago will get to return this kickoff. and they do not return it, and Chicago goes to work, they're going to get 7. 7 is a red zone trip. Chicago now feeling the pressure after a New York punt return, drives down the field in the red zone. It's going to be 7. It's a touchdown pass, baby. It's a touchdown pass of short yardage, 56. Short yardage touchdown pass, 56 says receiver catches the ball, spins away from a tackle, and powers into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. So that'll be Concanon, QB, TD pass short, number 56. Extra point is good. And Chicago has just made this interesting. Remember, New York has not yet gotten to their extra drive, so New York gets their drive. And it's going to be defense. 7 is red zone. New York goes to work. They're going to go 6 is touchdown run. How does New York score? Folks, what is happening here? The doors are, or the wheels are coming off running backs. Here we go. Let's roll. And it is a long, no, it's a medium run. So let's look at medium run 55. Medium run 55 for a medium run. Let's see that description. 55 is running back, follows the wedge, powers in for 6 on a medium ISO power concepts from medium yardage. So Johnson is going to score for New York. Running back Johnson. It's going to be a medium run 55. Extra point for them is good. Wow. So both teams do not miss an extra point in 1970. That's refreshing. All right. Now, normally New York would now get their extra drive check, right? So let's go ahead and do it. This will be, it'll seem weird, but that's just the abstraction of it. They do get their extra drive. And it's going to be 8. 3 on 8 is red zone. New York now 7 is field goal. So they're going to kick a field goal. Folks, New York with a punt return, a medium run, and a field goal scores 17 in Yankee Stadium. Chicago with a punt touchdown pass from Concanon. Holy cow, folks. It is 17-7. The New York Giants in their opener here at Yankee Stadium in the game 2 of the game 2 of week 1. Amazing. All right, Chicago goes to work. Kick return. Oh, wait, they have not had a kick return yet. Oh, so close. Chicago almost takes it back to the house. It's going to be defense 8 is a punt. All right, here we go. New York goes to work. They cannot return another punt, so we just ignore it now. They cannot get multiples. 9 is going to be a punt for New York. Okay, things are calming down after an exciting first quarter. Chicago goes to work. Offense 6. Red zone. Chicago trying to threaten to get back in this ball game. 9, 8. Touchdown pass. And that pass is short. 57. This time it's 57. 57. They're going to have a receiver. Makes a quick grab. Cuts back inside and dives in for 6. So he makes the catch and dives between tacklers. QB TD pass short. And they get this number 57, and it's XP's good. Chicago, folks, has just made it 14-17. And again, New York cannot return any more kicks. And they go to work. It's going to be defense 6. Red zone, man, this is unbelievable. It's going to be exciting. Second game of the year. 8, it was red zone 8 is touchdown pass. Oh, wait, wrong team. New York, 8, touchdown pass for New York. And this one is going to be medium range. Medium range 57. Man, this thing's rolling nothing but 50s. What's up with that? QB medium pass 57. And let's read it. Holy cow. Drive time football. So you notice what I did. I printed this in what's called a half booklet. Because it's 23 pages long. It's tiny. The font is tiny, tiny, tiny. But it fits in my box. And it's easier to handle than the 23 pages, full pages. It was a medium range pass, 57. Medium range pass, 57 is receiver secures the ball, drags the defender. Touchdown. He makes the catch and drags the safety into the end zone. Extra point is good. Folks, I cannot believe how high scoring this is. Brilliant. The 70s. People say the 70s are boring. You're crazy. 70s was great football. Here we go. Kick return. Chicago does not return the kick. Oh wait, do they get? First of all, let's see if either one of them get their extra drive. Yes, Chicago gets all of theirs. New York would, but if time expires, I end the half. No, time does not expire, so Chicago gets their extra drive. It's going to be defense 10. 10 is a punt, so Chicago can't muster anything on their final drive. New York on their final drive is going to be 10. Turnover is going to be a punt as well, so that's it. First half over. Chicago scores 7, makes it 14-17, but then a medium pass from Fran Tarkington is another 7. It is 24-14 at halftime. Holy cow, folks, what a game. New York Giants get a cheap touchdown on special teams on Chicago's second possession. And that's the difference, is it should be 17-14. It is 24-14 thanks to a New York punt return touchdown. All right, New York gets the ball to start the second half. They do not have a kick return. They go to work. It's going to be defense 5 is picked off, INT. Fran Tarkington intercepted. There is no return for them for a touchdown, so we just move on. Chicago with the ball on a short field is going to see a red zone trip. Chicago threatening. And 10 is going to be a field goal. Good for Chicago hitting that field goal. New York gets the kickoff. They go to work. Defense 10 is going to be punt. Things are going to slow down now as these teams have settled. Chicago on a punt return, they don't have one, so we keep playing. It's going to be the New York defense in the Yankee Stadium is going to force a punt. Chicago better get off the schneid if they want to come back and win this. New York, do they get their extra drive? They do. And New York's final drive of this quarter is going to be defense 7 is red zone. So New York, Fran Tarkington, what does he do? Missed field goal. No, say it ain't so. That would have given them a chance to extend the lead. Chicago gets all their drives. And Chicago goes to work. It's going to be 5. 5 is picked off. QB John Kincannon is intercepted. They cannot return it for a touchdown. 2 interceptions. Chicago does muster a field goal. They shut out New York after halftime. It is 17-24 going into the fourth quarter. Folks, I'm telling you, this is going to be an exciting finish. And again, we're going to start with the team that's ahead. So New York will get the ball here. They do not have a return. New York's going to start it off. 5, it's going to be defense. 8 is a punt. As Chicago now, it's exciting. Can they come back? Chicago is going to be looking at the defense. 11. Turnover on down. Chicago drives down close, decides to skew the field goal and go for the first down, which would get them into a chance to score and tie it. New York takes control. It's going to be defense 6. Red zone. New York with a chance to put the game on ice. It's going to be 4. Missed field goal. New York with a chance to ice the game. Cannot make a field goal. Chicago now with a chance for fumble. Ball is fumbled. Running back. Fumble lost. And there is a fumble return touchdown. New York could score a second extraneous touchdown. And no, they will not. But New York goes to work. Do they get their final drive? They do. Chicago always gets there. So we're going to check. If time's expired, that's it. I end it. And 6. Time expires. Time expires. There is no final drive. And Chicago fumbled the ball away in the 4th. Turnover on down and a fumble lost. A missed field goal for the Giants. The Giants are shut out in the second, folks. 17-24. What a brilliant game. Chicago 0-1. New York 1-0. And that is game number 2 of my NFL 1970s decade project. It'll take me the remainder of my life to finish the 70s. I will probably die or get too old long before I finish the entire decade, but you never know. Either way, it's going to be a hell of a good time trying to finish it. New York Giants win 24-17. The difference in this game was a punt return by the New York team. And then, of course, we had interceptions by both quarterbacks in the 4th. Nothing comes of it except Chicago manages 3. They put themselves in a position to tie the game. They turn it over on downs, a punt. They fumble the ball away. New York has a chance to ice the game. They miss the extra point, and then time expires. And there it is, folks. That is game number 2. This has been Drive Time Football by Powder Blue Sports. Thank you for watching. Good day.